Hey, what's up everybody? It's Isaac with the Butcher Shop back. Motor wise, for the 67 Nova, there was a bunch of things that I forgot to get. Well, not a bunch, but there was a few things that I forgot to order. So I got them ordered. We're getting closer and closer to the motor. But we did get the rocker panel in. So we can go ahead and put that in. What I'm going to get started on is trying to blend all this back together. As you can see it right there. There's a huge arc goes in. So we'll get the rocker panel on. I'll probably take a flapper wheel and grind in here to get some of this stuff out. Throw a little bit of bondo in there. But I would like to get all the body panels fitting pretty good, like the fenders and the hood, and I ordered some shims for the fenders and the doors. They haven't shown up yet, but as soon as we get that stuff fitting up pretty good, we'll take it all back off, and while that's off there, then we'll go ahead and build the motor, put the motor in. While the motor's in, I can have it, I can break it in while it's in there. And then while that's cooking away on the motor, then we can start on these body panels and get them primed and painted. Which the hood, the fenders, and the trunk lid doesn't really need much as far as body work there, but these doors, when I take the doors off, I'm going to have quite a bit of body work in these. There's some holes right in here. I don't know if you can see that. Holes right in here. There's a dent right here. This is bent. And then there's some holes back here, which ain't a big deal, but for right now, while we're waiting on the motor parts, I'll go ahead and get everything fitting up pretty good, and then we'll take it all back apart. But right now I'm going to get started on the bondoing some of that welding stuff that or the back door welds what I put in, and then we'll get started on the rocker panel. Let that dry up for a few. What I messed up on the first time was I let it go all night, which that wasn't a good thing. I guess you're only supposed to let that stuff set up for about half hour at the most. man, it was really tough to sand it. But a guy told me just let it set up for about 25 minutes to a half hour. So probably going to need more than that, because that was a heck of a bow where it bowed in where I welded that. So another thing was that I don't know really what to call it, but I showed it. That type of sander that I got at Harbor Freight, it's good to let it, like, knock the big stuff down with it, but not to blend it in, is what I was told. So let this stuff set up for about a half hour, and then we'll I got these sanding blocks, a couple of these flex blocks. I maybe should have ordered a little bit longer one, but that should be all right. That, and I got 40 grit instead of 80 grit. 40 grit just to knock the big stuff down, and then I can use the 80 to 120 stuff to. So like I said, we'll let that set up for a few, and then I'll come back and start grinding or sanding on it. Okay, I let it dry up for about a half hour, 35 minutes. I did use that sanding block with 40 grit on it, and it didn't do hardly anything. So all I did was start the air compressor up, put a 80 grit DA on it, and I think that's going to be pretty good. Once I hit it with like 120 or 180 or something like that, it's doing a pretty good job. Now there's still sinks in a little bit right here, so I have to sand this down, and then put just a little bit more in here. There's a couple spots we need to fill, but let me get started on sanding this by hand, and then, or with the DA anyways. And I got the doors open on both sides, so there's a constant draft going through. Or I would, if I had the doors shut, I'd wear a respirator, but there's a nice breeze blowing, so we're pretty good there. Okay. Well, still goes in about 1/4 inch right here, which is a lot. Stops right about here, here, and right here. So this whole area right here, down in here, isn't really that bad. I think right there is about where it starts. So we'll put some more right in this area. This is actually really good right here. Feels pretty good. I can kind of close my eyes and just run it over it, and it's hard to tell where it stops and where it starts. Oh, there's a little bulge right there. But like I said, we're not going to SEMA, so I ain't worried about it. Okay, now let me get on this part. Alright, well, I did open up the rocker panel, see how bad it was. It's not really that bad. Not as bad as the other side was, but since I bought the whole thing, probably just go ahead and replace it while I'm here. Be easier to do that instead of piecing and patching it all together. This didn't turn out too bad. It's actually a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Like I said, this spot needs some more. We're eventually going to have to do all this, but I was wanting to get all the body panels and everything fit up before I take them, or before I do this, but I don't have the body shims yet, so I'll probably put another layer of bondo on there, and then I got to jump to the front brakes because I got to make brackets for these brake cables. Let's see if I can get you in here. For these brake cables to go up in. They didn't really specify where they need to go. I know the tire needs to move, so with that much, play, it should be okay. So I'll make them and put it right there, tack weld it first, and then make sure the tires can rotate without this, either binding up, going in here, or without it having a lot of tension on it. So let me get the Bondo on there now. Hopefully the body shims will be here tomorrow. So I can do tomorrow the body shims, get the fenders where they go, and tomorrow we'll probably start on that other rocker panel. I don't know if I'll show the rocker panel because I already showed one and it's kind of boring, but yeah, let me smear some more bondo on here, then I'll hop on over to the brakes. Okay, I'll wait for that to dry and then I'll go over that 80 grit, and then I'll probably go out and buy some 220 or 180 or 120. I don't know. I'll know as soon as I get there. Let this dry, and then I'll make them brackets for the front brakes, so I can get them brakes done and bled. Let me get cleaned up here and then I'll be back. Alright, we're going to make this bracket real quick to weld in there so that brake line can go through there and have something to hook up to. So all I did was do 2" by, I think it was 2". All we're going to do is just drill a hole right in here, 5/8. So that hose will come right here, and then we can put the pin in it, and then you can't move the hose. I know I said that we were going to hop right on that rocker panel. You know what I don't feel like doing today? That rocker panel. So we'll get on that rocker panel probably tomorrow. By then, the shims should have shown up. So let me get these holes drilled real fast, and then cut it, and then we'll get up underneath there and mess around there. Alright, so pretty much see what we're doing here. Pretty easy thing to do. Get everything set. Okay, so here's what we did. We just took a, whoop, that's what we did, threw it on the floor. So we just took cut-off wheel, cut that basic flapper wheel, just grinded them kind of. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work, so I'm going to tack these in place. I'm going to tack these in place and then put the brake hoses on through here and then see if I can turn it, but I have to run up to the house real quick. So, I'll be back. Alright, so some good news came. Had to go to the house because the push rods came in and the body shims. So before, okay, where was I? The brakes. We're gonna hop on them brakes here in a few, but before I do, I think this is. I think this is good enough to sand. We'll sand this and then hop on the brakes. I can still I can still feel it right there. And feel goes down. I don't know if I'm gonna worry about it or not. Like I said, it's gonna have flat paint on it anyways, so it'll hide a lot of this stuff. I still have to go over it with 220 or 120. I mean, 120 or 180 or something like that. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to say screw it and go or to keep sanding away on it and bondoing it. Tell you what, I'll do one more coat of bondo on it while that's dry, and then I can work on the brake line brackets. Let's do that. Okay, so let's get started on them brakes. I think the more I mess with it, the worse it gets. All right. Let me get the welder and grinder and everything over here. Get you set up, and then we'll be back. if you can see that or not. Down in there is kind of hitting the spring. I mean, it's just touching it, really, not a big deal, I guess. Whoa! Stand broke for the GoPro. Have to invest in another stand. Take it the other way. See what that does. Yeah, see, it's hitting those springs. But I guess if I have to, I mean, I can make a bracket or something to hold this right here, to hold it over like that. See about the other side. Yeah, this side's good. And if I had to on this side, maybe, I don't think I'll have to. Man, the bushings are already dry rotted. Huh. Or maybe I squeezed them tightened them too much. Oh well. Okay. So, that's that. Let's get to welding that up. I need to invest in a little bottle of undercoating for stuff like this. Alright. So, yow. So that's done. Now, hopefully, that bondo, the bondo is dry enough with sand. Man, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Oh no, it's still kind of sticky. Let's let it set up for about another 5-10 minutes. Starting to look better though, a lot better. Okay, stop messing around. I'll let this set up for another 5 or 10 minutes. And then come back and get to sanding. Okay, I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. Man, you got dust all over this thing. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. I can still feel, when I close my eyes and run over it, I can still feel it kind of wavy. But, like I said, I don't really think I think that's good enough. Yeah, right there's, oh well. Spray this off with some primer. The primer that I'm gonna use, I'm just spraying this gray stuff on there for now, but it's actually kind of like a body filler at the same time, or a primer filler or something like that is what they call it, I guess. It's really good stuff. I've used it for a long time, not on cars or anything, but when I did a bunch of work on semi-trailers, I would use that, and it does a pretty good job. Believe it or not, it's actually in a spray can also. There's still some stuff I have to take out. I think you can see right around in there. But I think that 120, I'll start at 120. I think that 120 will take that stuff out of there. Yep, there's some there. Oh well, I gotta go back over this, like I said, with some finer grit. This was just 80 that I went over it with. Layer it on. Coat that car. I just put so much primer on it, you can't tell. It's not too bad. Like I said, that primer that I'm going to use, and the flat paint that I'm going to use, I don't think you'll see any of that unless you get up on it. But I ain't winning no awards here. Not really wanting to. Just wanting to go really fast in a really cool car. But this didn't right in here didn't do too bad. And you can't really see the weld marks anymore, except for right here. I didn't mess with that right there. But from like there down, not a bad job. Okay, so what next? I don't know if you can hear this. This door has to come forward a lot. See, all this stuff's gonna, this whole car was Frankenstein together between a 66 and a 67, between the coupe and a sedan. And I bought panels off of line also, newer ones, probably from Japan or China. They were cheap enough. Don't care where they're from, just as long as they work. But I think I'll go in and spend some time with the wife, since it is my weekend. And then I'll come back out tomorrow. We'll do some shimming on these, tighten these bolts up, get this hood where it needs to be laying. I would actually like to put some of these bezels in. Oh well. gonna look cool. I hope. Hope anyways. But oh, this panel right here also, I'm gonna save this. You can see how it's all cracked out of there and everything. But I am gonna sand it completely down and probably wire wheel it all the way down to bare metal, and then I'll start patching on that. I have yet to get a dent puller for this right meow. I guess it's going to be kind of a two-tone, so down here is going to be a flat color, and then this is going to be shiny up here. I guess I could start working on the inside also tomorrow. I did get these panels, the inside panels, cut out of aluminum. Well, I guess I could take it in there and show you real quick. Those have to be in also. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about them. I don't know if I'm gonna buy a bead roller or just not really worry about it right now and just put them in there. Kind of like a rough, it still needs to be cut down the bottom a little bit so it'll tuck up underneath this lip. And then this right here, I'll probably weld a couple brackets on the back of here so I can screw it in all the way down. And then this is going to be pinched up against here, and then we'll go get some weather stripping that's going to go, you know, it'll cover all this. Cover that. But for today, I think I'm done. I have to get on them brakes soon. I have to get on the motor. Man, there's a lot I gotta do. This back seat is annihilated, needs reworked. Just focus on getting this thing on the road. But I don't have all the motor parts yet, so we're almost there on the motor parts. Almost. I think I'm waiting on a bolt kit for the heads, and that's about it. I did have a couple buddies say that, you know, they would help me on the motor since it's my first time, you know, building a motor. But I'm not sure. I mean, I kind of just want to try it myself. I think I can do it. I did a lot of research on stuff like that, on this whole thing I've done research on. I've never done any of this, by the way. I don't know if I've ever said that or not. But no, I've never done anything like this. Like I said, I still am a semi-trailer repair, but it's nothing compared to this. Yeah, so like I was saying, my buddies, they would help me with the motor, but I'd kind of want to do it by myself just to see if I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can do it. I've watched videos, I've got all kinds of books and stuff on it. I know I will need, I'll probably have to call them for some questions, but I am going to get started on that very soon. I just got the shift linkage in today from Jegs for the 4-speed. So, but I didn't know that I have to have a bracket with that. I thought it came that you could just bolt it right onto the transmission. You can't. You have to have another bracket to bolt that on. So I got to wait on that. The interior of this thing, I don't know if I'm going to get it done before it goes on the road or not. I doubt it, but I can try. So that's it for today, like I said. bore you guys with this crap, but I'll see you in the AM.